Have you ever felt the silence of your own home? Not the quiet of peace, but the echo of emptiness, a space filled with everything you've built. Yet your own spirit feels homeless within its walls. You have been the cornerstone for so many, the unwavering pillar in every storm. Your love, a feast for hungry souls. But who nourishes you when the feast is over and the guests have gone home? Who sees the famine in your own heart? You wear strength like a royal robe, majestic, respected, but underneath the fabric is worn thin, torn by the weight of unspoken burdens. This strength, your defining grace, has it become your gilded cage? You stand at a threshold, my sister, not of collapse, but of revelation. What if the breaking is an awakening, a sacred summons to lay down your armor, not in defeat, but in divine wisdom, to discover the power that blooms only in surrender? This is not an end. It is a holy homecoming, a journey back to the forgotten country of you, where your soul waits patiently, ready to be seen, ready to be heard, ready to be healed. The silence in your house has a sound. It is the hum of the life you provide, the quiet work of a love that never sleeps. You have learned to build a home for others, a sanctuary of warmth and order. But your own soul, where does it reside? Does it wander through the rooms you've perfected, a stranger in its own dwelling, looking for a place to lay its head? You have become a master architect of peace, for everyone but yourself. This is the loneliest kind of construction, building a world that cannot house you. Maybe you're feeling this right now, a profound and unsettling spiritual homelessness. You give your key to anyone in need, but you've forgotten which door leads to you. You've forgotten the sound of your own name, when it's not being called out in need. Let's speak of this journey, not with shame, but with gentle truth. Think of your life as a great legacy tree, one planted by your grandmother's prayers, watered by your mother's sacrifices. Its roots run deep into ancestral soil, rich with the wisdom of survival. Your branches have grown strong and wide, offering shade to a weary world. Travelers rest beneath your leaves. Children play in your shadow. Your fruit has nourished entire communities. You are a landmark of resilience, a testament to life's ability to flourish. But have you looked closely at your own leaves lately? Some are turning yellow out of season. Some branches are bare, reaching for a light they cannot find. You have given away so much of your life force, so much of your water, so much of your sun, that your own roots are beginning to thirst. You stand tall, a magnificent sight, but inside, the core is growing hollow. The world applauds the shade you give, but no one asks about the health of your roots. They do not see the quiet effort it takes, the unseen struggle to draw life from dry ground. They just expect the shade to always be there. This is the inheritance of the strong woman, especially the strong black woman. You were taught that your roots must be unbreakable, that your purpose is to bear fruit for others, that your value is measured by your capacity to endure. This legacy is a source of immense power, a crown passed down through generations. But my dear sister, a crown is heavy, and the head that wears it needs to rest. Your ancestors' strength was for survival, so that you one day could live, not just survive, but truly live. To live is to know when to stop bearing, and when to simply be, when to offer shade, and when to drink the rain. Have you ever cried silently, unnoticed, standing under your own magnificent branches, feeling the ache of a deep inner drought? Your smile, a perfect disguise for your thirst. You tell yourself it is the price of strength, the cost of the crown. But God never intended for your crown to crush you. He intended for it to be a sign of your glory, not a symbol of your unending servitude. The season of relentless giving must come to an end, not because you are weak, but because you are finally wise enough to heal. So how do we begin? We do not begin by adding another task, not another promise, not another goal. Our healing begins with a sacred subtraction, a holy letting go. It is the art of lovingly saying no. No, my well is dry today. No, my branches need the sun for themselves. No, I will not pour from an empty vessel. This no is not a weapon of rejection. It is a tool of restoration. It is the first drop of water on thirsty roots. It is the sacred boundary around your inner ground, protecting the soil until it can bear life again. Remember the story of Hagar in the scriptures. She was a woman cast out, sent into the wilderness with her son, with only a skin of water. She was alone. She was unseen by those who used her. She was, for all purposes, forgotten. When the water was gone, she laid her child down. She could not bear to watch him die. She went a short way off and wept. She had reached the end of her strength, the end of her resources, the end of her hope. This was a place of complete surrender. Maybe this wilderness feels familiar to you. This place where your strength has run out, where your own hope feels distant, where you feel forgotten by the world you served. You have wept where no one could see you, believing this was the end of the story. But God meets us in the wilderness. He is not a God of the palace only. He is a God of the desolate places. An angel of the Lord found Hagar, not when she was strong, but when she was broken. He did not condemn her despair. He heard her cry. He saw her. And then he opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. The well was there all along, but her grief had blinded her to it. Her fear had hidden it from her sight. Your provision is closer than you think. Your healing is not in a distant land. It is right here, in your wilderness of exhaustion. God is waiting for your striving to cease, for your performance of strength to end, so He can open your eyes, so He can show you the well of grace that never runs dry. This well is not for others. This water is for you. It is the living water of self-compassion, the cool, clear water of divine acceptance. You do not have to earn it. You only have to be still enough to see it. You only have to be humble enough to drink. If this touched you, know you are not alone. This journey into the wilderness is a sacred one. It is where we are stripped of our false selves and find the indestructible core of our spirit. It is where we learn that God's power is made perfect, not in our might, but in our weakness. Let your tears be a prayer. Let your exhaustion be an offering. Let your surrender be your salvation. Now, let us return to that legacy tree, your great and beautiful life. The healing journey is not about frantically growing new leaves or forcing fruit from barren branches. The journey is downward, into the dark, quiet earth of the soul. It is a journey to the roots. This is where the real work is done, away from the eyes of the world, away from the demands for shade. What do your roots need? They need stillness. The world above is a storm of doing, but the world below is a sanctuary of being. Your roots need the quiet nourishment of prayer, not the formal words you say for others, but the honest sighs of your heart, the wordless ache you lift to heaven. They need to remember. Remember the faith of the women who came before. Their whispers are in your spiritual DNA. Their resilience is the soil you stand in. They knew about dry seasons. They knew about wilderness, and they knew about the God who provides a well. Connect with their wisdom. Their strength was not in their endless work. It was in their unshakable faith, their knowledge that a morning would come, that the rain would fall again, that God's grace was a promise. Like the prophet Elijah, you have been looking for God. In the earthquake of your responsibilities, in the great wind of others' expectations, in the fire of your own ambition, you are looking for a sign of power, a loud confirmation that you are on the right path. But God is not in the noise. He was not in the earthquake, the wind, or the fire. He was in the still, small voice, a gentle whisper. That whisper is calling to you now. Beneath the clamor of your busy life, it says, "Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and heal. Be still and come home." You cannot hear this voice on the run. You cannot feel its peace in a state of panic. You must create a clearing for it, a small sacred space in your day. It doesn't have to be an hour. Start with 5 minutes. Find a chair and just sit. Don't try to pray. Don't try to meditate. Just be. Let your hands rest in your lap, a gesture of letting go. Feel the weight of your body, a reminder that you are here, present, alive. Breathe in, breathe out. That is the rhythm of grace. It requires nothing from you. It is a gift. In this silence, you are not doing nothing. You are doing the most important thing. You are tending to the roots of your soul. You are allowing the well of Hagar to be revealed. You are listening for the whisper of God. This stillness will feel uncomfortable at first, because you have trained yourself for motion, for productivity, for noise. The silence will seem loud. It will amplify the anxious thoughts, the to-do lists, the worries. Do not fight them. Let them be clouds passing in the sky of your mind. You are the sky, not the clouds. Vast, peaceful, eternal. Your practice is to simply remain, to return to the breath, again and again. This is an act of profound revolution. In a world that demands you run, you will choose to stand still. In a world that demands your voice, you will choose to listen. In a world that demands your strength, you will choose the power of surrender. This is how you redefine strength. It is not the absence of cracks. It is the light that shines through them. It is not the ability to carry everything. It is the wisdom to know what to set down. It is the courage to be vulnerable, to admit your thirst, to ask for help, not from the world, but from the source. True strength is trusting that your worth is not in your work. Your worth is in your being. You are a daughter of the King, a child of the Most High. Your value was settled long ago on a foundation of unconditional love. Nothing you do or fail to do can change that. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of a life that nourishes you as much as you nourish others. Let this truth sink deep into your roots. Let it be the water you have been craving. Let it heal the dry and barren places, and prepare the ground for a new season, a season of gentle, sustainable growth, a season of peace. So now, in this quiet sanctuary you have built, this holy space of stillness, let us do the sacred work. The hour of transformation is upon you. It is time to let the old self go, not with anger, but with honor. Thank her for her strength, for carrying you this far. But her watch is over. A new self is ready to be born. Freer, softer, truer. This birth begins with a declaration, a mighty word spoken from your soul's core. Let your spirit rise and speak these truths. Let them echo in the empty rooms of your heart until they become the new foundation. With the full authority of a child of God, say this with me. In the temple of your heart, I release the title of Strong One. I no longer need it to know my worth. My strength is not in what I can carry. It is in what I have the wisdom to set down. I release the crushing weight of expectation from the world and from myself. I give myself permission to be human, to be tired, to be uncertain, to be incomplete, and to be worthy through it all. I release the fear of disappointing others. I am not responsible for their comfort. I am responsible for my own peace. My first ministry is to the temple of my own soul. I release the guilt of saying no. My no is not a rejection of them. It is a yes to my own healing. It is a sacred act of self-preservation. I release the need to be seen, to be validated, to be understood by the world. I am seen by God. That is the only gaze that matters. His approval is the only one I seek. I release the stories of my past, the hurts that defined me, the labels that confined me. They are chapters in a book that is finished. Today, I open a new page, and I am the one holding the pen. Now feel the lightness that this release brings, an open space within you, a holy emptiness waiting to be filled. With hands open and a willing spirit, let us reclaim what has always been yours. I reclaim my right to rest, deep, unapologetic, soul-healing rest. My rest is not a reward for my labor. It is a divine requirement for my life. I reclaim my softness, the tenderness I have reserved for others. I now pour it over myself. My vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the doorway to grace. I reclaim my joy, not as a luxury, but as my birthright. I will seek out laughter. I will dance to the rhythm of my own heart. My joy is a revolutionary act. I reclaim my time. It is a sacred currency, and I will spend it on what nourishes my spirit, on silence, on prayer, on beauty, on peace. I reclaim my connection to the source, to the God who sees me in the wilderness, who calls my name in a gentle whisper. I am his beloved daughter, and I will live like it is true. And now, from this place of holy reclamation, let us turn our hearts fully to him. Let this prayer rise from the depths of you. O Lord, my God, my Father, the God who my grandmother knew, the one who sees and knows my heart. Today, I come home. I have wandered so far from myself, so far from you. I built my house on the shifting sands of approval, and I was surprised when it felt empty. I tried to be a well for a thirsty world, and I was shocked when I ran dry. Forgive me. Forgive me for seeking life everywhere but in you. Lord, You are the living water, and my soul has been so thirsty. I stand before you now, not as a provider, but as a beggar. I am asking for a drink. Pour your grace into the cracked places of my soul. Fill the rooms I abandoned to fear and shame. Be the light in my windows. Be the warmth in my hearth. Make my heart your home. Heal the roots of my life, the ones damaged by years of neglect. Send your spirit, like a gentle rain, to soften the hard and barren ground. Uproot the weeds of comparison. Uproot the lies of unworthiness. Plant in me a new garden, a garden of grace, hope, and self-compassion. Tend to it, Lord, until it blooms again. Give me the courage of Hagar, to trust that you see me in my wilderness, to believe a well can spring forth from the dust. Open my eyes to the provision you have already made. Give me the wisdom of Elijah, to listen for your voice in the stillness, not in the chaos the world creates. Anchor my soul in your quiet presence, so that the storms of life cannot move me. Teach me to wear my crown lightly, to remember it is a gift of your grace, not a burden I must carry alone. Help me to lay it down at your feet each day, and to rest in the knowledge that I am simply and profoundly loved by you. I surrender my schedule, my strength, my striving. I place my life into your loving hands. I trust your timing. I accept your peace. I am ready to be healed. In your holy and precious name, I pray. Amen. Breathe in that word. Amen. So be it. The work is done. The prayer is answered. The shift has happened. You did not just speak words. You have recalibrated your entire being. You have signed a new treaty with your soul, a covenant of peace. Feel the peace that has settled in your spirit. And it is not a fleeting emotion. It is the very substance of your soul, revealed, remembered, restored. The journey you took today was not miles long. It was the sacred distance between your head and your heart, the home you were seeking in the world's applause, in the validation of others, in the completion of endless tasks. It has been waiting for you inside yourself all along. You have returned to the center of your own universe, this sacred space of being. You are not a guest here. You are the keeper of this holy ground, the guardian of this inner temple. This is your most sacred duty now, to tend to this peace, to protect it fiercely and lovingly. When the world rushes in again tomorrow, with its noise and its needs, you will not meet it from a place of depletion. You will meet it from the overflow of your own well, a wellspring fed by grace. Walk gently from this moment, but carry this new power with you. It is a quiet power. It does not need to announce itself. It is felt. It is the authority in your calm no. It is the grace in your newfound rest. It is the light that shines from a soul at peace. You did not simply find peace today. You have become it. You are a living, breathing sanctuary, a walking testament to the God who restores. So nourish this sacred ground. Water it daily with moments of stillness. Fill it with the light of self-compassion. Speak kindly to yourself, for you are holy ground. And from this renewed and sacred center, watch as your life gently transforms, not through striving, but through being, not through force, but through faith. You are whole. You are free. You are home. I'll be back soon with a new message to strengthen your spirit. Subscribe to stay with us